All right, so I have an idea, and I hope that it's going to work. So here is I didn't fold these over yet because I knew I wanted to do something else. So, first thing, I think I'm liking this ribbon coming underneath there, just to bring a little bit of blue. It's a different blue than this, but there's enough of it in here. I'm thinking I really like it. Plus with everything else I'm going to put on here. If you guys remember, I fussy cut out all of these pieces from one of the papers. And I'm going to use this. Now this has this color in it too. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. And I probably will do the same thing on the back. But I also wanted to bring this pattern back into the front. So I did go ahead and run this through. But before I take it apart, I wanted to show you. I have a colored sheet. I have a blue sheet. I did not have enough of a blue to make this width. So I took some copy paper and glued the largest piece I had and then another piece on it. So that made it large enough, and this back space is not going to get seen. So it made it large enough. And then I also put some white, thin white down. And it did cut through everything. I put it through a couple of times. And yeah, it has all popped out right there. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I had a little bit of micropore tape on there. Come on. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this difficult, or I would have done it before, but I wanted to show you my sandwich. Ah, come on. Now this back part here is not going to show, but it is starting to pull that paper up, and that does not make me very happy. Micropore tape. I didn't put this on my arm first, and that's where I made the boo-boo. Of course, I have no fingernails, so it is a hassle. And there. Okay, now I'm going to just cut this right there. Okay. And then we're going to get the tape off of this side. Now, it's going to rip it, so, and this is just thin white, so I am going to go ahead and just leave it on and cut there. Just cut that stuff off of there. Icky stuff. Icky stuff. All right. Oh, I got some stuck on my finger. There. Okay, so then we will have the white, the blue, and the yellow. And it was going to come out from underneath this blue. Can you see that? I want it to be a little more prominent than all the way back. Ah. Let's see how far I can have it sticking out and all of the bad stuff still covered up. Okay, so something like that. It'll all be together though. And then I want this card on here, and then I'm just going to lay around all of these other pieces and parts so that I can make it pretty. So let's first glue these together. That will help take away some of the movement problems that we're having. All right, so we want this just a little bit of white to show. Oops. There we go. Okay. So I'll put it on the black so you can see there's a little bit of the white showing. And then here's the yellow. And I'm just kind of putting glue in the front and a little bit, because all the back is going to be sealed up. So now I'm going to have a little bit more blue showing than white. I want to get my point in the center. So there, that looks very beautiful. I don't know, it looks like I've got a little mark or something on it. Okay. Let's see if I can get that sticky off of there. No, it just is not going to come off. That micropore tape is not supposed to do that. Let's see, I do need it for my clanky thing, because I know it drives me nuts, so I'm sure it drives other people nuts hearing that clankety clank clank all the time. Okay. Now, let's take, and this is this side. I'm going to fold it over just a little bit. My chair keeps rolling back. I keep pulling forward and it keeps rolling back. I don't like it. It's getting a mind of its own, kind of like Walmart shopping carts. Yeah, it might be getting to be time for a new chair. I don't know. I've had this one for many years. They're so expensive, though. Good Lord. Okay. Now that Barely Art does not seem to want to grab on this ribbon very well. There it's holding. Okay, so let's get, we're going to want it to go from that spot to that. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer so that I can fold and give myself a nice spot. And I think I'll use some double-sided tape this time. will work, I think, much better. Okay. So I'm going to put this on the end. Cut off the excess. Let me burnish it down a little bit. And get this off. Okay, so I've got it upside down now. Yeah, that glue is not holding this ribbon at all. So there are some things that this glue just doesn't work on that the art glitter glue does. And just fold it right where you want it to be. Let's see. Where'd you go? All right. Just putting a little bit of tape in here to try and keep it. Oh, I wish I had some fingernails. Try and keep it closed here, because that glue just does not want to work on the ribbon. Let me burnish it down. There we go. There. All right, so that should be holding down better now. All right, and so obviously I'm going to use tape to put this down, but yeah, see, there's not going to be a huge amount showing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape along this side, and I am using my 1/4 inch for this. You can use your 1/8 of an inch, you can use your 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to put it right along the side. That is going to go underneath the yellow. Okay, cut this off. You don't want any excess hanging out. And then I'm going to put another piece on the opposite side, so that when we've got everything done, we can pull this piece off, and then the ribbon will be nice and secured down. And another thing with glue is it does discolor the ribbon. Now remember to please don't stretch your score tape. If you stretch your score tape, especially on ribbon, it will bundle it up. Okay, so I'm just going to do one side here. And I'm going to put this, flip this back. I'm going to line it up on my edges. There we go. And then that's going to close over that. Of course, we'll pull all the little pieces out when we are ready to get that down. And now it's still open on this side so that I can work this in. It's got a little bit of that micro pour tape glue on there, so I'm just letting that be used for Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to start off with is this, but I'm just going to put glue in the center. And I'm going to have it at a little bit of an angle, because I want to be able to tuck things underneath. One of the things I know that I was, let's see, let's start down here. Let's see, where's that? Don't want to cover up too much of the, this is kind of interesting to read. So could do it that way, or up here like this, and have this. I'm trying to use these two pieces up as well. I could do the notes right here. That might be cute. That might be cute right there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead . Just attaching this to this underneath the petals. I like to make sure everything's got different layers to it. And then I'm going to get back behind here that little stump that I wanted to hide. Okay, so there's that. And if you remember, I did put some multi-matte medium on these to help give them a little bit of stiffer, feel for protection. So I'm going to glue these right here. And I'm not gluing down all my petals just yet. And I'm pretty sure I wanted this one to come under here. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And let's see. That's still going to go there. can put this blue flower and the white flower right here. Right over the notes. Yeah, let's do that. Again, I'm not really putting down the let's do that right there. And I think I'm ready to go ahead and put this down. Whoops. And I will come back and get the majority of the smaller pieces glued down when I'm done. Okay. All right. So there's that so far. Let's see what else we have. So I can feed off of this side a little bit now. And here's another blue. And I've got an extra leaf here. Let me cut this off a little bit. Or I can put it here. Okay. That makes it stick off the end of the page, so I can't stick it there. And got this one. Okay, so this and I think I want that to lay across the top of that point there, and we're going to put the leaf right there. And then we're going to feed these out of the same area. Maybe I can make this one go. Sorry guys, I'm just playing. You just hang in there with me. Where's my other one? Right here. Yeah, that looks good. And then I think I'll take this and slide in here. And I want it to go underneath a little bit. So there's a little more interest there. And then I have some nice butterflies to flit around. And I have this yellow one. Or I have this one. Ooh, that's pretty. And I can put the yellow one right over here. What you guys think? I'm liking it. My dog is crawling through. You go on now, buddy. And let's see. Well, I got to use one of them. No, that's kind of funky. Kind of funky looking. Yeah. I think that's going to be it. But I can tell you, I am not going to use the art glitter glue for this. I mean this Barely art glue. I'm not finding it holding everything fast enough to work on. So I am going to go back to the art glitter glue, which I think now they have started shipping again. This is April. I'm not sure. You will be seeing this in April. So let's see. Let's see. Come on, baby.
Now I threw away the other one. Is that? Oh, that's mine.
And I'm just pulling up those edges a little bit, but I did glue about half of the wings down. This one I won't glue down quite as much. There we go. I'm going to get underneath here and glue down some of these little bits and pieces of these flowers now. Yeah. Okay. I want to try and slide this. No, it covers too much of my sign. And how much of this is still unglued? Not enough. Okay, so most of the notes got glued down way more than I wanted it to. We'll put that right there. So we're just going to finish gluing this down. And by leaving the ends, it is a little bit more work, but if you want to tuck something in or something like that, it offers you that ability. Now, I am going to use my Fabri-Tac on this large bubby here, but let me first get some glue on this, and we will take that double-sided tape off of our ribbon. So let's see, we're going to have that pretty much, I don't know, do I want it centered? I gotta stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. It's a little high. Okay, so I think that's good right there. And then I'm going to pull this off. So you gotta kind of think of all of this in layers. Now I know I need to pull this down just a little bit. Make sure I get to the end of the book. And there we go, there's that done. Alright, so, whoops. Let's get this leaf down. I'm going to put these two flowers down first, and then I'll put that larger bottom one on the... Oops. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I bumped ya. I'm going to put this down. I think right about there will be good. And then let's get the rest of this down. Okay. And then I put my bottle right on the flower. We're going to put this one right across here. And then this one, let's see how high I can put it up. I'm going to have it coming out of this leaf so I can get it up just a little higher than the other one. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, now let's put this leaf down. And let me go ahead and put this down. That should slide right back in there. Right like that. Okay, now for this metal butterfly, put that right there. This metal butterfly, I think this was my grandmother's, if I remember correctly. And I'm putting that bad boy right there. Okay. And then I have the one more butterfly. And I don't know, do I want him? I don't know. I don't know where I want it. Well, I'll think about him. I'll think about him. Now I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac and put my yellow down. And then the cover will be done. Now, if you had wanted to put any kind of closure, I am not on this one putting any kind of closure. But if you had wanted to do a closure, you could have done eyelets, you know, like right in this area, put an eyelet and put some nice ribbon through the front and the back before we do the inside front and back cover. You could have underneath this paper attached a ribbon and had it done that way. Okay, I think that will be enough for that. Get that right over on the edge. Get all the little pieces down. Make sure they're nice and straight. I might have to come back and put a little bit more on if it doesn't get all my pieces down nice and straight. Okay. Pull these down just a little bit so they all look even. The idea is not to get any glue on the blue ribbon because it will show up. Or if you have a blue piece of paper or whatever it is that you have that you're using underneath. So there's this. Yeah, I think I will put that there. And I'm trying to get some glue on the little, let's see. Yeah, right here. And glue down his little antenna. Well, guys, I hope you like this part. This is my cover. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. That's pretty cool. And these feel like they're getting dry. Everything's stuck down. And the fact that there's a little glisten on them is nice. It makes them stand out from the paper that they're on underneath. But yet it looks like the garden is just, you know, continuing to grow up. So, love it. Now, anybody in New York would probably love to have this. Okay. All right. So, now all we have to do is the inside, front, and back cover. And I will be back with you guys in just a few moments. Thought I would go ahead and do the last one with you just so you could be reminded, or, you know, if I didn't do everything well enough to show you the first time. So we're going to take our white from when we first cut out our envelope. So this is just a white piece from the envelope. And we're going to place this down so that it is even. And I think the most important thing is having all the points come together. Now, if you didn't die cut, or if you use like a edge punch or something like that, you can totally do the same edge punch just across the top, or just put a couple of pieces of the paper, you know, in a decorative way. Maybe cut squares out and put the squares across the top, or you know, you, I'm sure, can find something that would be very pretty. Just a little piece of trim across the top of each one, lace or trim, something like that. And then we're going to just cut the white off without cutting the other papers. There we go. And then, simple as, put some glue just at the top of your paper. So I just have, I can't see that you can see that. I just have two little lines right across the top. I'm thinking you can see that. I think my glasses are so dirty I can't see anything out of them. And then we're just going to line it up with the top all the way across. Make sure we're even. Oops, got it off the... Okay, that's even, and this is good. And then just give it a couple of nice pinches. A little burnish. Make sure all that paper is down. All right, and then you just flip her over and cut the excess off. And then here's our last one. And I need to cut off, it's been about a ½ an inch that I've been cutting off, maybe 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so there is all of them, and I think they look pretty good. And I just used the same one that I cut off the page, so it kind of finishes the picture up at the top. All right, guys, so we have our cover, and I see I've still got a few little pieces I've got to get glued down, and got our spine done. I still have to put another piece of ribbon here and then close that down on it. And we have to do our inside, front, and back covers. So I will be back in a second and we will do that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Remember to please share, comment, and like. If this is doing anything for you guys, I appreciate it. And I love hearing from each and every one of you. And thank you so much for all of you that have joined up in my Facebook group and that have joined me as a subscriber. I really love hearing stories about you guys, and you know, I like knowing what you're working on just as much as you get to see what I do. So leave me a comment anytime. Let's talk. Talk to you later. Bye. Thought I would go ahead and do the last one with you just so you could be reminded, or, you know, if I didn't do everything well enough to show you the first time. So we're going to take our white from when we first cut out our envelope. So this is just a white piece from the envelope. And we're going to place this down so that it is even. And I think the most important thing is having all the points come together. Now, if you didn't die cut, or if you use like a edge punch or something like that, you can totally do the same edge punch just across the top, or just put a couple of pieces of the paper, you know, in a decorative way. Maybe cut squares out and put the squares across the top, or you know, you, I'm sure, can find something that would be very pretty. Just a little piece of trim across the top of each one. Lace or trim, something like that. And then we're going to just cut the white off without cutting the other papers. There we go. And then, simple as, put some glue just at the top of your paper. So I just have, I can't see that you can see that. I just have two little lines right across the top. I'm thinking you can see that. I think my glasses are so dirty I can't see anything out of them. And then we're just going to line it up with the top all the way across. Make sure we're even. Oops, got it off the... Okay, that's even, and this is good. And then just give it a couple of nice pinches. A little burnish. Make sure all that paper is down. All right, and then you just flip her over and cut the excess off. And then here's our last one. And I need to cut off, it's been about a ½ an inch that I've been cutting off, maybe 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so there is all of them, and I think they look pretty good. And I just used the same one that I cut off the page, so it kind of finishes the picture up at the top. All right, guys, so we have our cover, and I see I've still got a few little pieces I've got to get glued down, and got our spine done. I still have to put another piece of ribbon here and then close that down on it. And we have to do our inside, front, and back covers. So I will be back in a second and we will do that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Remember to please share, comment, and like. If this is doing anything for you guys, I appreciate it. And I love hearing from each and every one of you. And thank you so much for all of you that have joined up in my Facebook group and that have joined me as a subscriber. I really love hearing stories about you guys, and you know, I like knowing what you're working on just as much as you get to see what I do. So leave me a comment anytime. Let's talk. Talk to you later. Bye. Wanted to show you what we've got left. Okay, so it's not a huge amount, but it's going to be nice for my scrap buster. You know, it gives me a little bit of something to work with. So out of this one, I'm going to make a front pocket. I'm going to make a pocket on the front inside cover. These two pieces are the inside, front, and back base covers. They haven't been cut down yet. They're just, that's what those are for. So I will be building onto these once I get the proper size. And I think I'm going to do a pocket that'll go all the way across, and I will accordion it so that there's going to be extra space in there. And then I do think with, no, I can't remember which piece. I do think I'm going to try and make like a little journal or something to go into this front spot, or at least a just a nice folded booklet. But we will see about that. And so that's what's going to be on the front, inside front cover. Then I have these three pieces that are basically the same size. There is a minute difference in all three, but not anything that I'm truly worried about. You can see the 1, 2, and 3. They're just a little bit different. But I'm going to use these on the back inside cover. And then this is what I have left. And of course, you know, this being a printable, I could print out more, but that's kind of defeats the purpose of using up your scraps, you know. So, yeah, I think what I will probably do is, you know, just try and come up with a quick project. I have a whole one of these. That I will be able to utilize these babies for. And then I have these sheets, or this sheet. And then I have one yellow. I don't have any blue. I have some little pieces and parts of blue. I have some cut flowers that I didn't use on the front cover. And these two pieces of white I'm getting ready to use for the inside, front, and back covers. So I won't have those either. Oh, yes. And I have this sheet, which is that specialty paper. I can't remember if this is the one with the... Yeah, it's just a sheen thing. Just a sheen thing. So we'll come up with something to utilize all of that stuff with. And I think it's going to be something very quick and easy. And a little hint, my friend Teri that we just are finishing up, well, she's done. I am not done with this yellows and blues. She stayed on schedule. She's a good girl. And I just couldn't. I've just got so much that's going on, and then my computer not my computer. It's doing fine, but my internet. Okay, so I am going to just figure out where I want to cut this. These all are the same height. They're just not the same width. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And I am going to have to cut through both because I don't have enough just on one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut both at one time. And I did not show you, I do have a few tidbits in here. So I have, you know, some of the tags and then some of the little scraps, but there's not much at all. But we'll come up with something cute. Okay, so, okay, first off, I need my scoreboard. And yes, I did put it back where it belongs. Yay! And I have to keep an eye on this. My son told me that if I would stop plugging my camera in all the time, my batteries would not die and leave me. So he is trying to train me. He's very smart with computers, and so I try and listen. He builds them for people, and does gaming stuff and things like that. Okay, so I have put down a that thing, a hinge. Oh my goodness. My goodness. And then we're going to go in with this one. Are these the same height? Yes, they are. Okay. And which one was the biggest? The largest? Yes, this one. Okay. And boy, did I make that too big. Let me try that again. Let me try that again. I have got to get these pencils sharpened. I know I keep saying that, but it's very true. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this other one so that they're still going to be the same height. Make sure these are even. And this is not. Okay. There we go. All right. And now it's too short. What the heck? What did I just do? Okay, well, I mean, all we got to do is cut this down a little bit. But holy Hannah, I tell you, it has been one of those days. Okay, so now we're going to cut this one down to fit this page, which we were trying to fit to this page, but we didn't do so hot. Okay. Much better. Much is better. Much is better. All right. And now we're going to cut this. So there is that one. And then I think I'm going to use this one here. So I have to cut that down a little bit. Let me cut both of them down since these are all going to be the same size. Oh, this one is a little shorter. Not by much, but it is a little shorter. Let's see, did I do that one okay? Yes, I did. Okay, and I realize that this is too short this way, but I think I will add a pocket. Or at least a little tuck spot area or something. This needs to come off a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to put this here so you can see. We're going to stay away from our score line so that that will work properly. And then we're just going to find ourselves a little something something to go right here. I do have some white lace that I have been saying I need to go in and find a few spots for some white lace. So that might be what I end up doing. It's just a nice little lace edge right there. I think that'll be really pretty. So, and I've got enough of this to kind of spread it through the book a little bit. So that's going to be first page. No, where this will go right here. So that's first page. And then we're going to do another score mark. Okay, and we're going to do this just like that. And I think I'm going to score this one. So let's see where I want to score this. Okay. Gotta get this in the center of one of the score grooves. And where to put my score tool thingy bobber. Yeah. Okay. Holy Toledo. Guys, I'm going nuts here. Okay. Stylist to the rescue. Okay. I do not know where that got off to, but so we've got a little bit of a pocket over here. And this will go here. And I'm going to glue let's see, I'm trying to use this Barely art for this whole project. Yes, I do want to snip my edges. Get some glue on there. Make sure I'm putting it on the right side, the correct side, which in this case is the left side. And there is a little bit of a difference here. Matches down at the bottom. It's just a little over on the top. So I am going to just come in with my scissors. White on white is really almost worse than black on black because it shines back on you, where black just kind of absorbs the light. The white shines it back on you. So I don't know which one's harder to work with. There we go. All right. So there we have page 1, which is a little longer than page 2, which makes it easier to pick up. And then page 2, which we're going to have just a little pocket in there, and so on and so forth. Then this one, getting it prepped to go, we're going to not cut this off. I'm going to utilize that. We're going to start off, and I still don't know what I have done with my score tool. You guys are probably yelling at me. You can probably see it. There it is. It went underneath. So you couldn't see it either. But you probably saw it go. Oh, I'm trouble today. Let me tell you guys, I am trouble today. Okay, so I'm going to do a 1/4 of an inch, I think. So first one was a 1/2 inch, and then go to 3/4 of an inch and score. And then go to 1 inch and score. And that will give me the bam, 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 bam. And then there's the paper. So that's good. So the 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. And so the first one, and I'm just using this as the cardstock that we would normally use and then decorate it. We're just going to use this as the item, as the whole thing. Okay. And then we're going to, let's see, that's the back. Let's see, I'll go ahead. Well, I need to find out how long I need it. So I need to go ahead and cut these. You guys know how to do this. It's just, I've got the height already to go. And then I'm going to take it all the way to just before the score. Just before this first, the very edge of this front cover. Okay. Get my garbage out of the way. And so we're getting more little tidbits. Okay, so there is my front cover. So now I can put this around the back. Okay, that's how I'm going to do that, is around the back. Bring this folds, bring all the folds and close them up. Slide this up a little bit so you can see where we're going to start our folds over here. All right. So let's go ahead and do our first score mark. And then go over 1/2 inch, 2, 3, 4. And then 1/4 of an inch from there and 1/4 of an inch from there. And boy, did I do that wrong. You want to do your first score line, and then you want to do 2/4 of an inches. So I'm just going to add another one in here. So I just have one extra. So we're going to make our fold. there we go. Let me burnish. And then we're going to fold the next score line, which should be 1/4 of an inch. So you're going to put your first score line, 1/4 of an inch, and 1/4 of an inch. And then you cut it, leaving 1/2 inch of your paper. I hope that makes sense to you. And I skipped one. Yes, there we go. All right. This, fortunately, lays a little better than this one does. There we go. This one wants to stick out past, and I don't like that. Okay, and then let's give this one a score. And then I'm just going to cut off at 1/2 inch, which was the last score mark that I made. But if you did it afterwards. So you're going to put your first score line, score 1/2 inch away, score 1/2 inch away, and then leave 1/2 inch of paper on it. So, and I know I made that way more difficult than it had to be. So then I want to take the flaps, just the first flap, and check and see. Yes, so it sets into the paper very nicely. Now we're going to take care of the bottom. I'm just going to kind of open everything out again. And because this is an accordion, I don't want to glue this just flat down onto the card, because then as you get things down into the bottom of your accordion pocket, it's not actually a true accordion pocket. It's a pocket with a little space at the top, which narrows as you go down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 3/8, and I'm going to make myself a line. And then I'm going to give myself 1/8 of an inch past that. So at the 1/2 inch mark, I score again. So that way I am getting, and I'm folding that very first score line that I did. And we're going to burnish that down. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to get this second score line that we did. And that is right there. So we're going to pull this top part over so it lines up against this. And then just support the paper and kind of pinch it into place. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and score that. Open it up. Now you have a box right here on both sides. We're going to remove that. We're also going to remove the score line. On both boxes. There we go. So I'm doing the innermost score line on the side, the innermost one, not the first one that we did. We're cutting that one completely off and going up to the next one. Okay. So now I have a little 1/8 of an inch down at the bottom. And then we've got come here. Then we've got our little accordions on the side. So I put this over the side pieces. Well, actually, since I'm going to put this around, I can get rid of all of my pieces that are going to interfere with going straight down in. So that is the pocket. But now the question for me is, do I want to go ahead and do a pretty on the front of this? And I think the answer is yes. So the only problem is I don't have any more blue. But I can do what I did last time. I can find myself a piece of paper, copy paper, that is long enough. Is that one? Nope. This one? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to cut about 2 inches off of this. That ought to be plenty. And I'm just going to take a little bit off. I don't want to waste my blue, so I am going to see, that's where I glued on the copy paper before. I think I'm going to cut that strip out of there so that I can have that. Use all the blue I've got. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Well, that wasn't, look, that was not a very good cut, was it? I must be really tired. I think I need to just put this away and go and sit down. My allergies have just got me thrown for a loop. It was hard to sleep last night and everything. So, anyway, what I'm doing is going to go ahead and get all of these pieces glued together to make a blue piece, because I think I really need that on the front here. And I will use, I have a small piece of white, so I will have the white, the blue, and then the design paper. So yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, guys, but we've got it almost all the way done, and hallelujah. But I will be back when I'm in a little bit of frame of mind. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Love you all. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I want to go over a little something with you before I continue, because I have these pieces of trim, the yellow, coming over the side and down. Well, when I put this piece on here, it's going to have a hard time, and I did not cut anything off the length. It's going to have a hard time getting to gluing down. I'm going to have to really binder clip it. However, I think if I take this, because the original plan was to put it over this just like this, okay? But it will actually thicken these pieces. But if I cut this to fit right in between these two yellow pieces of trim, it will help really clean up this edge, because it will be all one height at that point. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to shorten these down so that I can actually fit them And I already cut them. So they fit right in the center of these two pieces. So I actually only had to cut off like a 1/16 of an inch or something, but I went a little bit further. So now I'm going to mark where I'm going to put this on my sheet, because I want it to look like it's in the center. At every angle. So let's just one there and one there. Okay. So now I'm going to put some glue. I flipped it over, so here's the hinge. I'm opening the hinge up and I'm going to put glue on it. Now this is all going to be hidden, so you don't have to cut anything off. And let's just line this up with the marks that I made. Oops. There's one, and there's the other one. Does not seem like it wants to sit down in there, but we're gonna make it. There we go. Flip it over. Okay. So now when I put this down where it's going to belong, it's going to help make that all look like it's one length of goodie. Now at this time, remember guys, if you want to do like a ribbon closure or any kind of closure, you make sure that you're doing that before you lay these inside pieces. So I'm just going to decorate these up, guys, and we're finished. I did want to show you what I did. This is the front, and I'm just going to put this around this pocket, and that will be it for that. Make a few tags, and then I will do a walkthrough so you'll see everything finished up. But on this one, when you I cut this out, and then I used this half of it to make my little pieces. I have the front half I kept in my goodie box. But when you get this, now this last piece is not going to be seen, the 1/2 inch, but the center little bit will be seen. So you'll want to take your scissors and cut that so that you can not see it anymore. Okay, so let me show you what I did. I just put my scissors down underneath and cut that little piece there. Okay, now this I straightened off where I just made it go blunt straight across, where this one is all up to a point. So I am going to believe that's how much I cut off, but I'm going to have to cut off a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just going to glue these flaps, the 1/2 inch flaps, onto the back, and this flap onto the back, and then that pocket will be done. All right, guys, so I'll see you through the walkthrough. Thank you so much for joining me on all of this. It's been a wonderful journey. I've really enjoyed working with this paper. So that is the journal boat, yellows and blues, if you're interested in that. And tell them that Teri and Lisa sent you if you do go and order this. And that will just give us a little bit of kudos. We would appreciate it. And thank you so much for all of your all of Teri's friends that have come over and joined my Facebook group and become subscribers. And I know Teri is very excited about the people that are my friends that went over and discovered her. So we really appreciate it, guys. And I hope you will continue to watch both of us. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Love ya.